let's go back a little bit to the local church. Do you think that one of the challenges that the local church has is that they don't fully understand that they're to own the problems in their community? And when they have that sense of ownership, then things change.
Yeah.
Because so many times the church will say, wait a minute, that's a church issue? You mean these kids in school that are doing so poorly that they're in the 8th grade and they can't even read at the 2nd grade level? That's a church issue?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's the church's role to help address this challenge, this concern that these kids have, and in the process, love them into the kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. So churches that find themselves in the midst of places where there's gang violence, where there's violence from other ways, where there's brokenness because of drug issues, where the community is just broken. They are planted there to be salt and light. And in many cases, the church doesn't become salt and light because, one, they do not know it's their responsibility, but also they do not know how that they can minister to that. Because, the people in the church are also members of that community. But it is so redeeming when the church is helped to understand that they are called in that space to be salt and light. And then we walk alongside them to learn how they can fulfill their calling in that community so that the kingdom of God can come.
Yes.
And the fruit that comes when they step out in obedience.
Yeah, so Life in Abundance, that's their role, is to equip the church on these biblical principles that we're talking about so that they can be effective. And so the local church is the one that identifies the need in the community, not somebody from the outside that says, hey, your kids are all, this community live on the streets. No, that's a church. Now, it's great once a church is equipped and they own this problem, they come up with the solutions. Yeah. That's the powerful thing. And when they own it and when it's their solution, things will happen.
So true. Yeah, Life in Abundance exists to serve the poor and the vulnerable through the local church. Really, without the local church, our hands are tied because this is the agent of transformation.
Yes.
So once we come alongside the local church and enable her through empowering to be who God called her to be, through the principles that we share in this book, then we see God glorified. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. So the other beautiful thing about this, once a church is equipped in this way and they've experienced the transformation in their community and their transformation in their church members, because transformation doesn't happen in a community until the transformers have been transformed.
Yeah.
So it starts with that. Now, other churches take note and see, oh, wait a second, can you teach us what you've learned on how to apply these same principles in our own community?
Yes.
Yeah.
So truly that has been the growth strategy. Once we teach one church and we leave behind people who have been trained in these principles, they also become core teachers of other churches. And the process is ongoing. It's amazing in evaluating the impact of what we do, because we partner with a church for a 3-year period and then we move on to another community, lest we create dependency on ourselves. But these churches continue to teach others and others, almost creating a movement of transformation or development.
And even the churches they plant it's in the DNA of these churches that plant.
Yeah.
Who else had a 3-year ministry? Who else was that?
That was Jesus. Yeah, that is exactly what Jesus did. He could have stayed forever, teaching us until we come to that perfect state. But he knew he can trust people who were weak, even people like Peter, even who would deny. They were still being told, go to the rest of the world. Like, even knowing people would be not as in an excellent state as he was himself, he still entrusted the power of God in them to go and make disciples. I believe we are called to empower the vulnerable, empower the weak, empower the uneducated, that they can be able to carry out the commandment of God, to go and make disciples of others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Just about the impact. It's amazing how one would ask, does it work? After doing this for a given period of time, we had some external evaluators who were appointed by some of our supporters, our foundations, to come and evaluate what happens after we've been there for 3 years and we leave. That impact assessment is one of the key things that we talk about in the book, and the outcome of that. It's amazing how they found at all levels that the model of transformational development that Life in Abundance employs in these communities works. Not to our credit, but just applying the biblical principles of what Christ has left behind for us is able to create sustainable development through the local church.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now the local church can identify their needs that they have picked in their community. And then that's when the West can come in.
Yeah.
The global North can say, hey, we specialize in whatever, whether it's dentistry or healthcare or women's ministry or men's ministry or early childhood development.
Yeah.
That's when it's very effective for short-term teams to come in and teach these things, that the local church has already identified as a need that they need to address.
That's so true. Once the church is empowered in these principles and they've already engaged their community and are in a place where they are organized, the community is organized, the church is mobilized, then they are ready to partner. And to partner in ways that will not create a dependency, but will continue the journey of those that are on their route to development, can continue that path.
Yeah.
So it's really an empowered church that's engaging their community that's best to partner with for other donors who are coming in.
So an empowered church is sustainable and reproducible. Yeah.